Okay, hello YouTube, this is Melantart VA.
And this is Saki Amano.
Oh, that's loud, sorry about that. And also we've got our guest coming in, so first of all, how is everybody doing on this lovely Friday? Sorry, I'm just talking to the audience, even though we only got 2 people.
Well, as long as we're talking to ourselves.
Yeah, no, we got a few people, even if it's only 2, and one of them being...
It's only really concerning if you talk to yourself and get an answer.
Okay. There he is. There's the man.
There's the man of the hour. There's the man, the myth. There's the man, the myth, the legend.
You guys start?
Art. We were just introducing ourselves to the audience, but yeah, the timer did end like a little bit ago.
So yeah, I think your timing's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
Yep. So anyway, once again, we'll actually redo the introductions. Hello, YouTube. This is Melantart VA.
This is Saki Amano.
And this is the Egg Paladin. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
and of course, Jose, I know that you specifically wanted to come on to the Digimon Tamers discussion. I'm guessing you're a big fan?
Oh, I'm starting to actually enjoy Digimon Tamers. Absolutely. It's actually a pretty good anime.
Oh, yeah. Plus, like...
I mean, if you ask, It's been years since I've watched the whole thing. It's like even though it's been years since I've watched the whole thing, it's like it's only like my favorite of the season, as I remember.
Up.
Absolutely, totally. Oh, I do actually agree there.
I also gotta say, Renamon's best Digimon. Don't at me.
Oh yeah, she is fantastic.
Up.
Best character, best personality, best thickness.
What I was gonna say, there's four for it.
Alright.
Okay, so first off. Sorry, Jose. I'll let you go first.
Also,
So, anyways, now that we actually get started with the whole Digimon Tamers live stream, how actually began in progress. Should we start with how Digimon Tamers actually began in progress, like with development and whatnot?
Yeah, we should. Okay, so essentially, Leon, we actually have essentially one man and to thank for Tamers, which is one Mr. Chiaki J. Konaka, who at the time I think his most popular series was actually Serial Experiments Lane. I could be wrong. I've never seen any of his other projects.
I've seen a little bit of the Serial Experiments Lane, and I've definitely seen a little bit of like the writing style.
Okay.
Even if it's definitely more a little more down to earth than the Serial Experiments Lane.
Which is true.
Like, Lane's not crazy. It's just like unless you know like the concept stuff, you're gonna go like, what the mess?
Okay.
Yeah, that bugs me because I feel like his resume has.
Which is why Tamers was perfect for him.
Yeah, which is really the best way to describe the Serial Experiments Lane.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's a very good anime. It's just like you better know what you're getting into if you decide to watch it. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to follow it.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting how he actually got a man that's actually done previous stuff to actually take over for Digimon Tamers. Which is
Oh yeah, well, which is, I think, also just the darker, like elements of Digimon Tamers.
Which weirdly, the only reason Konaka actually got Tamers was because he actually really wanted it. He fucking wanted it, and so he became the complete showrunner for it. He has like Tamers. Tamers was actually very much Konaka's baby.
And to be honest, it kind of also explains why Tamers was a lot more story-heavy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yes, which by the way.
Yes, it feels like in the original Digimon Adventures, I mean, there's a similar story, but it almost feels like it's been more Monster of the Week kind of formula, you know?
Yeah, where it's like Digimon Tamers is one of the first ones with like a dedicated plot.
Even if unfortunately the plot really didn't begin for 13 episodes, which was a problem with Tamers.
They're so slow on the clock.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like, especially considering the fact that it's like, you know, just all you have to do is just make 3 episodes, one for each of the Digimon Tamers, or each of the 3 main characters, and boom, start the plot.
Yeah, but unfortunately,
one that unites them.
Yeah, but unfortunately, we didn't receive our first villain for about 13 episodes, which was, of course, motherfucking Yamaki, who was voiced by Steve Bloom, much like Guilmon was in the dub. But speaking of the plot, shall we get on with talking about that plot?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, so first off, I should actually mention that with Tamers, Konaka was actually given a big mandate by Toy that he essentially had to include the V-Pets, the video games, the card game, and any other merchandise any other merchandise inside the show, and of course with any less talented writer, they would have fucked it up big time. But thankfully, Konaka actually had a solution: set the show in real world Japan.
Yep.
Which, like, again, like any lesser writer who didn't know what the fuck they were doing would have fucked this up big time.
Yeah, but it's like, and to be honest, what's kind of cool is that it actually complements Digimon really well.
Oh,
Yeah, absolutely.
oh yeah, like, even if some of it feels a bit fanficky, as we're gonna get to when we get to Rio.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, to be fair, there's always kind of that risk when you set something in the real world.
Yeah, that's true, but
I mean, there's even like militaries and scientists that were actually mentioned and shown.
yeah, that's true. So I mean, anyway, on to the plot. The first of the Tamers we meet is actually Takato, and honestly, starting out, I would have to say Takato is probably the most average out of the three, at least in the beginning.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's like, honestly, it doesn't really feel that much different originally from Ty or Davis.
Yeah, but like, thankfully, he would have. Oh, sorry.
No, it's fine. I mean, I will admit he's an alright protagonist. I mean, he does have a bit of development as the series goes on. But the first few episodes, yeah, it feels just a bit generic and average, like any other hero just trying to start up and try to start his adventure. But yeah, it just go a bit slow to make of it like an average generic hero.
Oh yeah, that's true. But like, thankfully, we actually see. I don't want to make this joke, but Takato's fan fiction essentially come to life when he creates Guilmon, who in the sub is voiced by Masako Nozawa, which is fucking fantastic. You would not know that was her if you didn't look it up.
Yeah, that blew my mind to realize the voice of Guilmon was also the voice of Goku.
Wow. Yeah, that's absolutely fantastic.
Especially when you hear like the two voices, they're like vastly different. It shows that Masako Nozawa has some fucking insane range.
Oh yeah, she does.
Like, my goodness. Holy, seriously, this woman has so much talent. You cannot deny that.
And like, I got a friend of mine who actually met Masako, and they said like Masako is just one of the sweetest people you'll ever meet.
Oh yeah, like, isn't she like 90? Like how exactly? How
90 years old.
How has this woman not gone fucking senile at this point?
And it's like, this woman's still voice acting.
Oh my gosh, she should have been in retirement, but no, she's still kicking in.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I think she's made enough money to set the next 3
Oh yeah, like.
And then again, I think she probably just loves the job, you know?
Yeah.
Oh yes, but anyway, back on track.
Because then the voice of Goku is just, she's channeling her inner Super Saiyan to stay longer.
Anyway, back on track. Can we get back on track? Oh no, that's okay. Like, and also, by the way, I should tell you, Tamers actually kind of destroys the metafiction meter a few times. First of which actually being when Takato first wears the goggles. That's the first time the metafiction meter explodes.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my god, the metafiction is off the charts.
It's on the range, and oh my goodness, it's exploding.
It's over 9,000.
You had to. Fuck. Okay, so like, also like we should probably mention the other two. First up is Henry, who's actually half Chinese, and he's probably the biggest source of fanfiction, considering his partner is Terriermon, and any fans of the movie will recognize Terriermon and probably be like, what the fuck is he doing here?
Yeah, exactly. Considering he was one of the partners of Willis in the movie.
Yeah, from the original Digimon movie.
Yes, he was. And finally, we've got... Oh, sorry. Oh, wait.
Speaking of like Terriermon and Willis, whatever happened to Lopmon? Does he ever... I forget. Does he ever really appear again much?
Oh, yes, actually. Lopmon's actually in Tamers as a female in the dub, but then appears again in a Frontier.
Yeah, I just kind of forgot, since again, it's been years since I've seen Tamers.
Oh, no, that's okay. And finally, we've got... we've got Rika, who weirdly in the sub is named Ruki, which is like, what the fuck kind of name is Ruki?
Yeah, right.
Wait a second. I thought, don't you mean like in Ruki it's Japan, but Rika is in America?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because everyone getting Rukia, you think of Rukia from Bleach. And I'm like, you ain't fucking Rukia.
Yeah.
And of
exactly.
course,
Although,
Erika's partner, the Queen at Statue of Liberty of Furrydom, Renamon.
And my personal favorite Digimon of all time.
And your partner for your Digidestin Sona.
You know, now Agumon, I'm gonna let you finish, but Renamon was one of the greatest Digimon of all time.
oh yeah, I can agree with that shit. Totally.
Even though, like, for the dub, I actually have to mention something, Jose. Jose, like, weirdly, in the German dub, Renamon's apparently a man, and in the English dub, she speaks with a seductive "fuck me" voice. Has anyone else ever noticed that?
Oh my god. Is Ramon transgender?
It doesn't make sense for Renamon to have a guy's voice considering how feminine she looks.
The LGBT community is gonna lose their shit when they hear this.
But again, seriously, it doesn't make sense for Renamon to have a guy, because like I said, Renamon looks very feminine.
But then again, when you think about it, clearly Germany didn't get the memo about some of Renamon's character traits, and if you go looking online, there is actually slash fanfiction and slash fan art of Rika and Renamon. Not that I would know.
Yeah.
Don't look at me in that tone of voice.
I mean, then again, there are also some really good, like, male Renamon fan art, which is...
Let's not go into that. Let's move on.
Yeah, let's not turn it to a DeviantArt crisis, shall we?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I would say, but, you know...
Let's try to look the other secondary characters.
Let's
talk before and melt into a puddle of goo.
Yeah.
Yeah, good idea.
Yeah.
We've got Calamon. Calamon, the mascot.
All right.
Calamon.
On Calamon, zoom, zoom, here, zoom, there, zoom, Calamon, zoom, zoom, no underwear, zoom!
Also, everybody in Calamon, I think Digimon, you gonna play with? Oh, fun!
Seriously, the English dub has so many crazy translations, it's funny. This is why I always think the English dub is over subs.
Yeah, that's fair. And also, speaking of Calamon, can we talk about probably the most uncomfortable character in all of Tamers, even though we're going to get more into her whole shtick later? Can we talk about Jerry, or do you want to save Jerry for later?
I was gonna bring up Jerry right now until you brought up Calamon.
Yeah, sorry. Let's just put it this way, guys. Jerry is actually the source of, essentially, my nightmares for about 6 months when I was younger.
Oh, I could explain.
Last year, last month I was making lunch/dinner, so...
Gotcha.
Interesting.
Okay, so essentially for Jerry...
Yeah, so anyways, Jerry is actually a female tamer who's wants Kyle's friend and quote-unquote love interest.
Oh god, everybody fucking ships them.
Oh, absolutely. Well, and of course, her Digimon is Leomon.
And everybody who's ever seen Digimon knows the tradition of Leomon.
Yeah, we're fully aware.
I was gonna say, Leomon goes the way of the Dark Souls protagonist.
Yeah, he goes dead.
Anyway, Jose, continue.
Also, another thing I just realized, apparently Leomon is actually voiced in English by Paul St. Peter.
Yeah.
The voice of Xemnas for Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, he's also Wormmon.
Oh, wow.
And he was Deoboromon in the movie.
Oh, yeah. That's pretty cool. I like Paul St. Peter. He's also, in Japanese, he's voiced by Hiroki Hiroi. Rocky Hirata. I am sorry if I butchered your name, sir. I apologize. I said it Japanese.
Gotcha. Okay, we'll actually get back to how Leomon passes and how it affects the show later. We'll get back to that later. That sound good, guys?
Okay, I think your grasp of Japanese is... Yeah, but again, I think your grasp of Japanese is about as good as ours.
Totally. Thank you.
Okay, so let's see. Next up is Henry's little sister, Susie, who honestly I did not like. Her voice was fucking irritating.
Yeah, we can agree on that.
Henry, Terriermon!
Oh god, why I have to read her flashbacks back?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It's fine. You're good, really. No worries.
Although, weirdly, she actually tames a Deva.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Lotmon, aka, or formerly Antilamon.
Oh, I was about to say, actually, 'cause, yeah, I did not know that Litmon was actually what do you say again, a Deva?
Yeah, a Deva. There's 12 of them, actually based on animals from the Chinese zodiac.
Ah, interesting. Gotcha now.
Yeah, Fruits Basket lovers would love that, but unfortunately there isn't really a cat unless you count Impmon, but we're going to get to him in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
In it. Next...
Now,
sorry?
mm-hmm. Next up I want to actually say is probably one of my favorite characters, Impmon.
Yes, bada boom!
It's your avatar's design.
Yeah, boom!
Yes, it is. Beelzemon as in Beelzebub.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say that it's like obvious wordplay is on.
Yes, yeah, plus
Derek Stevens Prince as Impmon is a fantastic voice. He also voices Vexen for Kingdom Hearts, and I like the performance he actually gave with the whole boom thing. This is so fantastic. He's like evening finding foxes.
Yep.
Just gotta put Impmon, I remember I had one of the Digimon fighting games for the PlayStation.
Yeah?
Boy, Impmon in that game sounded exactly like Beamon.
Same voice actor.
True.
Okay.
Okay, next up, shall we get to the plucky comedy relief who really starting out like you would think they would be inconsequential?
Yeah.
Kazu and Kenta. Oh boy. These two beginning these two at the start, I thought they were just going to be pointless characters, kind of what's a good comparison? Oh yeah, kind of like the teacher from Digimon Adventure. You'd think they'd be minor insequential characters who absolutely had nothing to do with the plot.
Yeah, just there for the sake of, being there.
Yeah.
I thought they were gonna be there just for comedy. I thought they were just gonna be there for comedy relief, but no, they're actually tamers and they're part of the plot.
Yep, and now on to the most fan-fiction-y character, who you guys might remember we talked about in the 02, Rio, who, by the way, fun fact, in the sub is voiced by Sonic the Hedgehog Junichi Kanemura.
Junichi Kanemura!
Are you okay, Jose?
Oh my god, my Sonic fanboy. My Sonic fanboy is in this game the best of me.
We couldn't tell me your reaction.
Okay. Alright, but let's talk about Rio.
Okay, so essentially Rio doesn't really change outside of a potential shipping with Rika, but honestly I think that's more fan interpretation mixed with the fan fictioniness of the writer more than any actual canonical stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, Rio's just a whole complicated thing. I would recommend actually doing some research on the Digimon Wiki if you want to know more about him.
Yeah, I'm already on that. So, Digibuyer Riku, but Digipore I've actually seen about him. Let's see. Oh yeah, he also says here that he also appears in Digimon Adventures and Digimon Adventures 02.
Yeah, like a brief cameos. Like he actually appeared for like a split second during our a war game, and also in 02 he did make a few cameos during Ken's flashbacks to his original adventure in the digital world. It's all part of the video game expanded universe, which unfortunately was Japanese exclusive. We never actually got to experience it.
Disappointing. Japan, we always get the good stuff.
I know, but anyway, and oh yeah, shall we talk about the first antagonist we actually encounter?
Sure, why not?
Mr. Yamaki, who was essentially running Hypnos, which is actually based on the Japanese, and he's like secret agency Echelon, from what I remember Yeizuo Otaku talking about.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember Hypnos, this organization that tried to, bring that massive beam, like a trapeze trap to lure Digimon that essentially,
Oh,
to death.
Oh yeah, the Juggernaut program, which unfortunately when the Juggernaut program is activated, we get to our first major arc involving the Devas, who we mentioned just a little bit ago. And of course, while the Devas feel very monster of the week, like each of them actually has like a distinct personality and a goal, and unfortunately they actually work for the Phoenix of the Digimon gods that we mentioned back in 02, where Zulongmon was one of them, and of course Zuchaomon is the Phoenix.
Yeah.
Yep.
However, there is one Deva that even as a kid scared the shit out of me, and anyone who has seen it knows what I'm talking about. Makuramon, the fucking monkey Deva, especially when he disguised himself as a kid. That was
Oh dear God.
Yeah. It was good looking monkey nose looking at.
Oh yeah, like especially the fucking like
Seriously,
head like turning like 360 degrees. It's like, oh my God, how the fuck did you do that, you freaking monkey?
Yeah, right.
Oh my God.
It's like, this Digimon was a Silent Hill.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, that's true. Although, like, after fighting the massive pig Deva, we're finally going into the digital world, which is like, I want to say that happens like halfway through the show. What the fuck took so long, Konaka?
Let's just say a lot of filler.
Yeah, that's true. Although unfortunately, the digital world for Tamers follows a lot of rules. And unfortunately, one of those rules is that Digimon do not reincarnate. There is no reincarnation system, which is some fucking bullshit.
Mm-hmm. Which makes sense since considering that Digimon are actually like data.
Yeah, that's true. And unfortunately, when we're in the digital world, after a few episodes of essentially everybody running around like chickens with their heads cut off, we get to the big Beelzemon fight, and this is where the show effectively changes from a caveat, or rather chariot for kids' toys, into the stuff of nightmares. And anyone who's seen the show knows what I'm talking about. When the murder
Yep.
of Leomon effectively leads to fucking Megidramon, as in Megiddo, the Valley of the Apocalypse. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you, Konaka?
I mean, again, this is also the writer of Serial Experiments Lane, so...
Yeah, that's true. And at the same time, it also shows that Japanese kids effectively aren't a bunch of pussies.
Pretty much.
Agreed. Seriously, because back then in the 90s and 2000s, there was a lot of dark, heavy story stuff. But nowadays, things are just going way too lighthearted, happy, and go like in slice of life. I want to die.
Easy, Jose.
Like,
That's okay.
I
That's
take
too far.
It's kind of worried about, like, the fact that Japanese kids shows still discuss darker subjects nowadays, when it's like, American shows, like, it's like a capital crime to discuss anything remotely dark.
Yeah, I mean, you can make the argument and say that, well, some of the shows had to be censored because of reasons, but regardless, they still tackle some very good subjects, themes, and good story arcs to develop the characters and help develop the characters to make
Which I
them
won't
grow.
lie,
So,
is part of the reason I kind of preferred Pokemon over Digimon, where it's like...
You mean Digimon over?
Digimon over Pokemon, sorry.
yeah.
Okay, and so shall we move on? Oh, sorry. I'll wait.
Yeah, I mean, I will admit Pokemon, I still like Pokemon for its tone, but I will admit, yeah, the darker tones of Digimon really interest me more than what Pokemon is doing currently. You know, I will admit it's kind of fun.
I'm sorry to say, Pokemon... Well, Pokemon has skated around darker subjects. It's like... It feels like it never outright gets to the point with them.
Anyway, like, I'd actually like to pause for a minute to talk about something really stupid that the dub did. You guys remember Gallantmon?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Okay, so effectively, in every other version of the show, Gallantmon essentially has his own like voice, but unfortunately, the dub decided to do what 02 did and effectively have both Guilmon and Takado's voice coming out of Gallantmon. It's awful, it's annoying, and it ruins the plot point of Kenta figuring out that Takado is inside of Gallantmon.
Okay, that's pretty weird.
Yeah, like...
Stupid, honestly.
Yeah, that's true. True. However, thankfully, over the course of the next several episodes, all three of the main kids effectively get to do the same thing Takado did, and essentially biomerge with their Digimon, resulting in Mega Gargomon, who's essentially covered in missiles but fights with Tai Chi, and finally Sakuyamon, which Sakuya, I know you wish. I know that's like for you. That's just so perfect.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and if you really think about it, like, you know, with that joke about R34 with, like, Renamon, it's kind of surprising there's not as much R34 for, like, Sakuyamon, Talmon.
I don't know, like, probably if you go looking for Sakuyamon X Justimon, I think you might be able to find something, but I'm not going to go looking for it because no thank you.
No way, we'll stay away from that for a 10-foot radius.
Yeah, no thank you. I wouldn't be touching that with a 39.5-foot pole.
Yeah.
But anyway, shut up. Anyway, so essentially we do find out about the final villain for Digimon Tamers, known as the D-Reaper. And just know that when the kids get back to the real world, let's just say things are only going to get a lot freakier, and my nightmares just kept continuing. I was a very sheltered kid.
Awesome. Or to quote Yahtzee, it's about to get fucky.
Absolutely.
On the bright side,
Hunter real quick. I don't know why. I'm gonna love this.
On the bright side, Sakuya, at least the plot wasn't explained by random documents and audio logs.
Audio logs.
Be glad we didn't get that. So anyway, when we're back in the real world, we find out Jerry ain't doing so good after Leomon's death. In fact, Jerry hasn't been Jerry for a while. It turns out that the version of Jerry they brought back was effectively a puppet of the D-Reaper, which means unfortunately all these kids fucked up and brought the villain back with them. Good job, kids.
What a bunch of idiots.
And so, yeah, unfortunately...
I'm behind. You just stop.
And also, like, Jose, like, remember the fever dream that happens when Jerry's in the hospital? That actually happens during this final arc, where she's, like, freaking out with Destiny, and it's like, are you running away from Destiny?
Oh, yeah. I cannot believe they actually approved.
Oh, yeah.
Freaking English dub, like, my god.
Oh yeah, like the Fox kids ascenders were fucking asleep at the wheel during Tamers, considering how much got through.
Yeah.
Oh, good. And let him be asleep forever. I want these stuff like that.
With that is that one from the Digimon movie, you see that? You are sleeping.
But you're driving! Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, but
It doesn't get to a point where, in the point where Jerry's father, I can't remember, they got into digital world where Jerry was merged with one of them, those creatures with mouths.
yeah,
Golden mouths. What are they called again?
they're essentially parts of the D Reaper.
Yeah.
Yeah, parts of the D Reaper, and they try. And the thing is, like when they actually merge to it, it feels very grotesque, like a human body part. Okay, but yeah, seriously, and the way how they're trying to how Jerry's father was trying to reach to Jerry, right over the part of the D Reaper was just actually trying to consume her. Yeah, that is some pretty dark, nightmarish fuel right there.
Yeah, like, if I actually had to make a comparison, I would say this final arc is basically Berserk for kids.
Pretty much.
Anyway, like, let's... Oh, yeah, plus, like, Rio apparently biomerges into Justimon. But that's just the whole off-screen thing.
This compliment is coming from the resident Berserk fangirl.
Oh, yes. And also, like, although thankfully they do win, but we get probably the most bittersweet moment in the show. The Digimon are effectively going back to their training forms, and they're taken back to the digital world. And honestly, Rika actually has, like, the most heartbreaking goodbye when she's, like holding Viximon. Viximon says, like, Rika, I know that we'll see each other again. And then she's effectively pulled away, and Rika shouts, "No, Renamon, I love you."
Wow.
Yeah, like, that's like, what the fuck?
I wonder how Japanese actually handled it, because I'm pretty sure it would be much more emotional.
I can actually tell you that Saban did kind of fuck up on this ending a little bit. Okay, so essentially, Henry's father, John Yu, says that I know you're mad, but in time it'll get better. Henry simply shakes his head as if to say, "Fuck you, I'm never gonna forgive you." However, in the sub, John Yu actually says that Henry's got, like, every reason to essentially despise him. However, Henry's head shake is essentially, "I understand, I'm not mad." And so yeah, Saban kind of fucked up.
Wow.
What an asshole.
Yeah.
That's the whole English. That's the whole point of English dubs. They try to butcher something that was actually well written and then make it into something that's kind of dumb and childish and kind of dickish.
Yeah, that's true. And also, there's the epilogue where essentially everything actually returned to normal relatively quickly. But Takato's a bit sad he couldn't essentially keep his promise to Guilmon to play again until one day when he goes into Guilmon's old house at the park and finds a portal to the digital world, and that's where Tamers ends. But before we finish, I'd actually like to talk about the sequel movie, Runaway Locomon, which developed Rika so goddamn much.
Ooh, that'll be interesting.
Yeah, like, essentially, the movie essentially deals with Rika's problems with opening up, and also, fortunately, her issues with her dad.
Ooh.
Yeah, unfortunately, to my knowledge, it only ever actually aired once on Jetix, but you can actually find the dubbed version online if you go looking for it to watch.
Alright.
I do expect at the same time it's like once we get to like the next Digimon, I'm probably gonna have a little less say since I never really saw Frontier onward.
Sakia, we already said that we're not going to talk about Frontier through Fusion. We're going to go straight into Digimon Adventure Tri, which thank God we're not talking about Appley Monsters, Fusion, Cyber, Data Squad, or Frontier. Because honestly, Frontier was okay, but Data Squad through Appley Monsters was just no.
Yeah.
And you said it was Fusion nearly killed the franchise?
Oh yeah, Fusion nearly... Yeah, like Fusion's effectively... Yeah, like, apart in this possibly dark reference, but essentially, Digimon's Hiroshima, Fusion's was the bomb that got dropped.
Ooh.
Like I said, pardon that dark reference.
Alright, so anyways, back to the movie with Rika.
Yeah, so basically, like, I don't know, like, what else I could say besides just go watch it. It's a really good movie, and it takes place after the events of the show with the implication that essentially all of the Digimon did get to come back, except Leomon, because fuck Leomon and fuck any kind of happy ending for Jerry.
Oh, what you gonna do, Jerry and Leomon dirty like that? Come on!
I know.
Oh, wow, Jesus. Leomon cannot catch a break.
No, he couldn't, purely because of the tradition. But anyway, guys, like, I think that's... Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Tradition states Leomon must go the way of the Dark Souls.
Yeah, Leomon has to die. Anything remotely resembling a Leomon has to die. Digimon Tri did it too, and we're gonna get to that next time. Anyway, guys, like, thanks everybody for coming, and especially thank you, Jose, for joining us on this discussion of Digimon Tamers. I know you were waiting months for it, and I am so sorry you had to wait so long.
Nah, no worries, it's fine. It gives me enough time to actually work on my other stuff. But hey, it's pretty good to talk about Digimon Tamers with you guys, because having to deal with all this episodes I've been watching, seeing the characters grow, looking at the dub, seeing a bit of sub, that's been pretty interesting and fun. So thank you very much for bringing this back into my memory.
No problem.
And we're glad to have you.
Absolutely, glad to have you here with you guys.
Anyway, everybody, thank you so much, and we'll see you